In the previous lecture, we learned about the required fields feature in EditText. In this lecture, we are going to add the character counter feature to our password EditText. Character counters are used to count the number of characters inside an EditText, and they are very practical. Because of this, we have dedicated this lecture to how to add a character counter to an EditText. I stopped the emulator for the previous lecture. Before discussing character counters, I'm going to define a visible attribute for my password EditText. I go to the layout folder and I open the activity main layout. For the password EditText, in the text input layout section and after the margin bottom attribute, I type app:, I import app to my layout with Alt and Enter, and I hit Ctrl and space, and from the list I select password toggle enabled. And for its value, I type true. As you can see, for our password EditText, a visibility icon was added. I close the activity main layout and I open the main activity class again. Inside the main activity class, I'm going to create an object from the text input layout class. I type text input layout and I name my object pass layout, which is supposed to serve as the text input layout for my password EditText. Inside the onCreate method, I make its connection. After pass, I type pass layout equals, I cast it to text input layout, find view by ID, r.id.password underscore text input layout. And semicolon. Now I go down below after my username EditText methods. I type pass layout dot, and now using set counter enabled method, I can add the character counter feature to my password EditText. Inside the parentheses, I should pass a Boolean argument. I enter true. I should also define the maximum character length. So I type pass layout dot set counter max length. Inside the parentheses, an integer value is required. I type, for example, 8. Now let's take a look at our application on the emulator. Our application is running As you can see, a visibility icon has been added to our password edit text along with a character counter below that. I focus on my edit text and start entering some characters inside the edit text. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Note that as you enter a character inside the edit text, the character counter below the field is incremented by 1. Until this counter reaches its maximum. I enter another character to make it 8. Also, by clicking on the visibility icon, I can see the characters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now if I enter one more character, for example I, you see that my edit text's color changes to purple, which means that this edit text is holding more than 8 characters. So that's it for the character counter feature in text fields. Now I stop the emulator. Now I want to change the color for edit texts. I go to the values folder, and inside the folder, I open the file colors.xml. When we focus on edit texts, the color for them follows the accent color. You can change this color, so I'm going to do that. I remove the code for color accent. And for its value, I go to material colors and I select, for example, light blue. Make sure you use the code A200 for color accent. I copy this code, return to Android Studio, and I paste it inside color accent. I also define another color. I name it color error, and I close the color tag. For its value, I go to material colors and I select red. As I'm going to use this color to show errors, I can use the code A200. I copy this code, return to Android Studio, and I paste it inside color error. So we changed the accent color and also defined a new color named color error. Okay, we are done with colors.xml. So I close it and I go to styles.xml. Inside this file, I create a new style. I open a style tag and I name it, for example, character overflow. And I close my style. Now inside the style, I'm going to define an item. I type Android:text color. And I close the item. I set its value to @color/color error. So now we are done with styles.xml. I close this file and I open activity-main.xml. Alright, inside this layout, I'm going to define a color for my password edit text. So inside text input layout, after the attribute password toggle enabled, I type app:counter overflow text appearance. I can change the color for the edit text when the number of characters entered is more than the maximum. For the value of this attribute, I enter the style that I created early on. @style/character overflow. Now let's run our project on the emulator. Alright, our application was successfully launched on the emulator. I focus on my password edit text. You see that the color for my edit text has changed because we changed the color code for color accent. Now I start typing some characters. Again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So far, we have entered 8 characters inside our edit text. Now, if I enter one more character, I expect that the color for my edit text change to color error rather than purple. I also add the character I, and yes, as we expected, our edit text color changed to color error. You see that we have 12 characters inside the edit text. Now I start to delete a number of characters. 10, 9, 8. Yes. You see that as soon as the number of characters reaches below the maximum value for character counter, again the color of our edit text is restored back to normal. And that's it for the character counter feature. In the next lecture, we will get output from our text field project. Thanks for watching and take care.